welcome back. I'm Sajina.
And I'm Sonia.
This is Module 4 Self-Empowerment Techniques. In the previous video, we saw how to control our emotions. Now we are going to learn some self-empowerment techniques. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sajina. But I have a question for you. Why would one want to learn self-empowerment techniques? What do you think would be the need for it?
Because we think it's necessary.
When you think it's necessary, that means you're reasoning out. You're using your mental ability, knowing that certain emotions lay way beyond our control, and only when we use the capability of our mind, we'll be able to control these emotions. So the mind controls the body. The mind has the capability, the ability, it's beautifully designed to take control of the body. So I want to bring to you, before I go further on self-empowerment techniques, I want to share a story with you, and which you all know about. I'm sure majority of you know about. It's about the eagle story. Now the eagle loses its strength by the age of 30, 35. Its feathers, it loses its energy, its body becomes weak, and what it does is it puts itself in hiding. It goes to a secluded place in the mountains and just sets itself apart over there. What it does first is, during these moments, it knows, it has become self-aware that I have become weak. We all know that the eagle is one of the highest flying birds of all species. We know that the eagle faces challenges. Faces challenges means it faces storms. Like other birds and sparrows, it doesn't go into hiding, but it faces the challenge and flies across the storm. And its body supports it. So it's both mentally and physically strong. It watches its prey from afar and focuses and grabs that particular prey. So it's a very focused and it's a very strong bird. But a particular point comes in life where the bird realizes it doesn't have the same physical strength to carry on, to move on. It can either choose to allow to succumb to that weakness, or it needs to fight. Now, when a bird can fight against its weakness, why can't a human being fight against their weakness? Because negative emotions are a weakness. If that bird can empower itself by going into hiding, setting itself apart, knocking its beak against a rock, breaking that beak, allowing a fresh beak to come, plucking its feathers out, plucking its talons out, and finally, new life, a second life for that bird, and it lives for 40 more years. So why can't we, the best of this creation, human beings, utilize what we've got within? So when you utilize emotional intelligence daily in your daily work activities, no matter where you are, when you allow emotional intelligence to take control over you, you are being empathetic, you are being understanding towards yourself, towards others, and what's resulting out of that is you're able to cope challenges. You're making yourself strong from within. And when you're making yourself strong from within, you're being resilient. No matter what comes your way, you're being very resilient from within. That's a very big gift of emotional intelligence to a person. So being resilient means being very optimistic. The first point is of self-empowerment technique is, in being resilient, is being optimistic. No matter what comes your way, you have coping strategies. Your brain will tell you, because you're being optimistic, ideas are flowing in. But when you're negative, your mind just shuts down. Your negative emotions don't allow you to think. But positive emotions, like being optimistic, it allows you to cope with situations, with challenges that comes. And as a result, your whole attitude towards life changes. Your whole attitude towards that situation, towards people changes. You become more understanding. And when you become more understanding, you're becoming more mindful. because consciously you're handling those situations. And so when you become optimistic, your whole attitude towards life changes. You become emotionally aware of yourself as a person. You become emotionally aware that people have a world within themselves. All the people who surround me, they too have a world within themselves. So you become more flexible with people. You know how to stretch yourself beyond limit. So you stretch yourself, though others are not able to stretch themselves, but you become more mindful and you stretch yourself. And what happens? You're in control of yourself. You're emotionally in control of your emotions. So emotional regulation takes place. You know how to switch over emotions immediately. And as a result, what happens? You become socially intelligent. You get social support from people. Your relationship with people becomes very strong. They see you, suddenly people perceive you as very understanding, very emotionally stable. They come to you, they share their situations with you. You're seen as someone really emotionally mature enough. Even in difficult moments, in challenging moments, when others are putting their head down, you develop a sense of humor. You're able to lighten that place up. So you have that emotion, that inner freedom within yourself. And people suddenly want to mirror you. They want to become something like you. The way you are flexible, the way you are optimistic, they suddenly realize, because they've seen that stability in you day in and day out. And they realize, if that person can do it, why can't I? And suddenly they want to copy you. They want to imitate you. They want to mirror you. That is something good, because you're becoming a role model for others. Another beautiful thing, a self-empowerment technique in emotional intelligence is, you have your belief about yourself and about the world around you is very positive. And you have a very high self-esteem, a very high self-worth about yourself. You don't underestimate yourself, you don't crush yourself, you don't put down yourself, you don't give into negative self-talk, you give into positive self-talk. So the energy within you is very positive, and therefore people always want to surround you, people always want to interact with you, people always want to come and share their burden with you, because they know they'll leave, when you enlighten them, they are going to go back very positive. So you're able to solve not only your own problems, and the same, suppose you're working on a particular project, different people come there with different thoughts, different ideas, different personalities, different attitudes. Clashes would be taking place, but even in these clashes, you're going to be very positive. You're not going to be judgmental. You're going to be open to the points of others, open to the ideas of others. So people would always see you as a people-centered person. So this is what emotional intelligence would do to you. It would empower you from within. It would open you up as a person from within. And then once you're high on your emotional intelligence, you're automatically going to become high in your social intelligence. This would lead to work-life productivity. This would lead to work-life job satisfaction. This would lead to progress, to success in life. Why? It's just because you've learned how to become understanding towards yourself, towards others, empathetic towards yourself, towards others, resilient, learning to cope with challenges. This is the beautiful gift of emotional intelligence to you as a person. And all this entire emotional intelligence.
Ma'am, how beautiful these techniques are. It's so important to know that we can use them in our lives.
Surely, Sajina. In fact, what you said is truly right. And what I explained through the example of that of an eagle, if a bird can do it for itself, why can't we as human beings? So, I always like to share this, that when we become emotionally intelligent, we be a blessing not only to ourselves but to those who surround us. Because when we allow negative emotions to get the better of us, we make our own selves and our own lives very complicated. And in turn, we complicate things for others. We mess up things for ourselves, we mess up things for others. We make it difficult for others, for all those people who surround us. And as a result, what happens? People don't want to enter into conversation or discussion with us. And if it's the work life, people are compelled. People are compelled to work together for that particular project, but after that, there's no interaction. But when we are emotionally intelligent, we know how to hold the world within ourselves, and life becomes beautiful not only for ourselves but for those who surround us. So we become a blessing for ourselves and for all those who and the world around us. So hope this modules on emotional intelligence has benefited you a lot.
Definitely, even though the concept of emotional intelligence was there, was not new for us, but all these techniques and everything has helped. I'm sure it is going to help our students a lot.
Yes.
Guys, we know that whatever we have heard here and whatever we have understood about emotional intelligence will help you and you will implement all the techniques in your lives. So, all the best and keep learning.
Remember that change always begins from within.